Hey guys, I'm Angela, and you're watching Runway Done My Way for Viva Glam magazine. Today's episode, I'm going to show you the quickest and easiest way to shred the back of your shirt. So what you're going to need for your ingredients is one shirt, which I am wearing just because I wanted to show you how tight it needs to be to get the look that I'm going to show you. In the stores, they have tank tops that have the back shredded and they're like hanging off you, but I like the more fitted shirts that have the shredded backs. So this is how it'll need to start as far as the fit. And then other than a shirt, you will need scissors and probably about 20 minutes of your time. Okay, so let's get started. Alright, so first things first, you want to just take your shirt and lie it down flat. And the first thing we're going to do is cut off the collar. And you don't want to cut it too big, you want to cut it right along the collar. There's like a little seam, so I would usually just cut right under that. I think sometimes when you cut it too big, it just ends up stretching the first time you wash it and it starts to fall off the shoulders and stuff. So you want to make sure that when you're shredding the back, there's some structure to hold it onto your shoulders. So let's just cut the collar off right at the collar. I have a bunch of those shirts, those tank tops that are super baggy, and they just kind of drive me nuts. I feel like I'm wearing rags. So if I'm going to shred something, I still like it to have some structure and have it still lay nicely on my shoulders and against my pants or my skirt or whatever I decide to wear it with. Just going to continue cutting here. Always use your super sharp scissors. Dull scissors make raggedy cuts. Okay, so now most people that I know would just cut along the back, and it doesn't really work like that. But let's make a little marker. So halfway up the arm, right there, make a little tiny mark, because you don't want to bring the shred up any higher than that, because otherwise, like I said again, it's going to lose structure. So that's a perfect height. And a lot of people, like I said, would just cut across, and that's why it takes forever and it gets all crooked. So my little secret is to fold the top in half like this and make sure you have the side seams perfectly lined up. This is the trick to cutting all fabric. You want to cut it in half so you're only cutting half. Otherwise you're cutting double the distance, you know, and expect to be cutting a straight line. It's a lot harder to cut a straight line that long. So now you just cut, you know, as far as you want. I'm going to bring it all the way almost to the side seam, maybe like an inch off. And I do like little 1-inch spacers between each row. And this way you have, you know, it's pretty accurate. The lines are pretty straight. Doing it the other way is just, it's crazy. I've tried to do it that way once before, and then I kind of figured out this way once I started learning about fabric and sewing and stuff, and I was like, oh, duh. There's so many easy ways to do things if you just educate yourself a little bit. So obviously I want to share all my tips and tricks with you guys. Okay, so you get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, and I'll be back in 5. You just want to continue all the way up to the top of the shirt. Okay, so we are just about done. If you look at it, it's completely shredded. It looks like fish gills. And I'm coming right up to that marker that I had us mark to make sure that we don't go any further past that. So a few more cuts, and then you just want to make sure, like I said, just stop right there, and that will make sure that it has enough structure to stay on your shoulders. Ta-da! Yeah, and like I said, that took about 10 minutes. So the back of my collar is a little off. Just a couple little things that I see sticking out, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to clean that up. But other than that, the shirt's done, and like I said, you can do this Now you can do this with anything you want. You can do it with tank tops, and you want to start with a fitted shirt. Don't think that if it's fitted that it's not going to shred and hang in the back, because you saw how tight this shirt was on me, and you're going to see in a minute how much it hangs. So a lot of people, they make the misunderstanding that you need to have like a big shirt to have like the shreds hang down the back, and that's just not true. So I'm going to put this on in a second and show you how it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's project, exclusively at Runway Done My Way for Viva Glam magazine, and I will see you next week.